Hey, what's up, Laker Nation? It's your boy Lake Show coming to you guys with a video. I'm going to keep this one short. I'm not going to really give a full game recap. I just want to discuss an issue that's been on my mind that I've been discussing on Laker Twitter spaces and stuff like that, and amongst other Laker fans, and I'm going to call it the Anthony Davis conundrum. But before I get into that and then my thoughts on LeBron James' performance against the Orlando Magic, if it's your first time to the channel and you're looking for a different flavor of Laker content on the tube and you value unbiased, objective, rational perspective, then you come to the right place. Consider subscribing. And for those of you who are already subs, push that notification bell to get alerts when I drop videos. Now, the Lakers win against the Orlando Magic 106-94. They took care of business. I'm not impressed. You know, I've been disappointed in the Lakers. They have played mostly shitty. The product on the floor has not been good, man. And sometimes I wonder, why the hell am I watching games, to be honest with you guys? But the diehard in me, man, I can't let that go, man. I'm gonna be there through the ups and downs, no matter what. They could lose by 40, 50, whatever, and I'm still gonna watch till zero because that's just the diehard in me, and that's gonna help me appreciate, the times. Being that it's a hard time right now for us, it's gonna help me appreciate the times when it's good. You got to go through the downs and ups, or ups and downs as well, man. That's just how it is. That's the ebbs and flow of life. And so right now the Lakers are in a bad flow, man. Very bad flow. But fortunately, LeBron James has propelled them the last two games. They won against the Orlando Magic tonight, 106-94. Like I said, they took care of business. LeBron James, man, had an incredible performance. Easy night for him. It was nothing, for LeBron James, a top 6 great player of all time. Took care of business, man. 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. Galvanized his guys to get the W. Did that the last two games, man. That's how you take a team on your back as a superstar player or a top player, man, and will your team to victory. And in this game, that's what he was doing. He had some nice chase down blocks. Looked young and spry, just like he did in Miami. Doing those chase down blocks that he had on Cole Anthony. It was disgusting, man. Hitting that shit against the backboard. LeBron James was looking hella energetic tonight, and I loved it. And he was just putting his game, his imprint on the game from the beginning to end, and galvanized his guys. And they played inspired basketball and held the Orlando Magic to 94 points. And they played some pretty good defense. And they gave up a 25-point lead. That's because Vogel's dumbass, which is annoying, went small, and then they lost the lead. He should have stuck to the bigger lineup with Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan. That's kind of what was getting them out on defense and getting them out on the break. LeBron James is pushing the ball after stops. Getting to the free throw line, drawing fouls, finishing at the rim, hitting his perimeter jump shots, operating in the post with ease. He was playing in a good flow tonight. His legs look good. He's starting to get more healthy, and that's a good thing for the Lakers. But the main issue going forward, and before I get into that, THT had a solid game as well. 19 points, 5 steals, I believe. Westbrook, 19 points as well. But how long can LeBron James keep this up, Laker fan? That's the issue. He averages about 38 minutes a game. And in the playoffs, you're going to be played more. Probably about 40 minutes, maybe somewhere around there. But at the age of 37, it's sad that the Lakers have to depend on him when AD's already in his prime, or pre-prime years, and at 27, 28, he's just entering his prime. And you could say that he's kind of regressed, but at the same time, you look at the numbers. 24 points per game, 10 rebounds per game. Now, you will say that that's a good, obviously, stat line for an all-star big man, right? The problem is it's not transferring to wins. It's not galvanizing guys. They're bad in defense. Overall, AD is settling as well. He's not getting to the free throw line, and when he does, he's only shooting about low 70s, maybe even high 60s. That's terrible. And then he's settling for three-point shots, and he's shooting 13 or 20-something% from three-point land. Maybe even 30% at the lowest. But last time I checked, it was about 19, 17%. It's ridiculous, man. He's settling, and he's not showing the fact that he wants to take the reins from LeBron James. So I don't trust AD post-LeBron era to be the main guy, Laker Nation. I just don't. I discussed this on Laker Twitter, and I'm very wary of the Lakers' future because they've given up so much for AD, a guy who hasn't shown the ability to be consistent, hasn't shown the ability to stay healthy, his fragility. I mean, let's talk about that. Let me give you guys some numbers. Let me give you guys some numbers. So on average, AD has played in his career 55 games on average. That's a little more than half the season. First year, 64 games. Second year, 67 games, 68. Third year, fourth year and onward, 61, 75, 75, 56, 32, 36, and then of course this year 25. So that means that if you average those numbers out, he plays about 55 to 58 games, a little bit over half the season. And you're giving up a lot of players for him, who are playing well in their current situations, in Brandon Ingram, of course Lonzo Ball, etc. You're giving up multiple draft picks for that player, and his fragility is going to be an issue. But it's not only that, it's his mindset. He doesn't want to dominate. He doesn't want to demand the ball. He doesn't want to take the reins from LeBron James. He's depending and deferring to LeBron James, who's 37. 37. That's insane. He's in his prime right now. And that's the troubling aspect. But to me, I said this from the beginning, Laker Nation. He is not a number one option. He never was. You're born into that situation, man. You're either an alpha or you're not. And AD's a beta male, straight up. He's a beta male. The fact that he had to get LeBron James and Rich Paul to coerce his way to the Lakers from the New Orleans Pelicans is all I needed to know. And tell me all I needed to know about his mindset. He's a number two. He always will be a number two. He's a Robin to a Batman. Always will be. And the fact that he is not dominating and showing that he could galvanize his team like LeBron James did tonight in the game before, it tells me all I need to know. So I don't trust the fact that AD is going to be handed the keys. He's not the number one option going forward, the guy that you build around. We need to find a number one option going forward post LeBron James era, because I don't trust AD to lead that. And plus with his fragility issues, like I told you guys, he averages about 55 games in his entire career in 10 years. That's a little bit over half the season, and he hasn't played a full season. And so his durability is an issue, his mindset's an issue, and the fact that he's settling for jump shots, not operating in the inside, taking three-point shots, things of that nature, while he's shooting 30 or lower percent. Those are major red flags. The fact that he's complaining about being tired. I mean, I posted a retweeted and then posted it in a space that I hosted today. Backstage Lakers, they had a coaches meeting and they were talking about Anthony Davis was complaining about being tired, and then on top of that, he didn't want to play the five. It's confirmed. AD literally said he has nothing to prove this year, and I guess he really meant that shit. He really meant it. And the fact that he was reluctant in his presser, I covered this on the channel about playing the five. He said he would play the five, but he has yet to prove that. And obviously the Lakers are going to be more optimal and better. But at the same time, AD is probably being asked to do the most out of any all-star player, to be, playing multiple positions. On top of that, cover the perimeter, cover the inside, and then on top of that, put up 25 and 10. That's a lot. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot. But he's 27 years old, Laker Nation. I don't want to hear the excuses for Anthony Davis. And so if he can't handle that, then he's definitely not a number one option, clearly. And if he can't stay on the floor, he's not a number one option, clearly. And so LeBron James having to depend on LeBron James, man. And the fact that he's playing 37 minutes, 38 minutes per game, when it comes to playoff time and Anthony Davis continues to demonstrate laziness, continues to not stay on the floor, continues to settle, the Laker opponents in the playoffs, they're going to zone up on LBJ. They're going to zone up and they're going to get physical with Anthony Davis, and they're going to push him out of the game and take him out of the game. And that's a major issue going forward, because Anthony Davis has to play like he wants it, and he doesn't want it. I'm not seeing the fire and desire in him to want to win a championship, and thus the entire group is not playing like that. And people are looking to him. I don't think LBJ respects him as much as people might think. I think he likes him, but in terms of the fact that he's not taking the reins from him, he's not showing that it's my turn. You did what you had to do. I appreciate you, but it's my turn. I'm going to take this over, and you're going to be here to help and be a stewardship. You're going to guide me, but I'm going to be the one to be the focal point on the offensive end and get us right. And LeBron James is having to do that at 37 years old. If he keeps doing this and playing at the malice that he is, who knows? God forbid he doesn't have an injury. But at this rate, and with the mindset that AD has approached mostly every game, the Lakers are probably going to be a play-in team. Hell, if they make the playoffs, they're probably going to be a first-round exit. So AD's mindset has to shift. He has to shift. If he does not shift, then the Lakers are in trouble, and not just for this season, but in trouble overall going forward. So, Laker Nation, I ask you guys, do you trust the Lakers to pass the reins over and hand the keys over to Anthony Davis post LeBron James era? Personally, for me, I do not. I think the Lakers need to find the #1 option going forward. I think they still should keep Anthony Davis and should not trade him post LeBron James era, but to build around him, he could probably get you to the second round. That's what he did with the New Orleans Pelicans, beating a 3rd seed Trailblazers as a 6th seed, sweeping them. I give him credit for that. That's difficult to do. But, you know, you need a superstar player. And not only that, a guy who's an alpha, a guy who's going to galvanize your team to 60, 50-plus wins, not only that, get you past the second round. And that's not what Anthony Davis could do. And not only that, a guy that could stay on the court and galvanize his team and dominate games. Anthony Davis can't do that. He's a #2 on a championship team. He has impact of a superstar and impact somewhat of a #1 option on the defensive end. But the mindset's not there, man. The heart's not there, and that's a major issue going forward. So, Laker Nation, would you prefer to keep Anthony Davis going forward? Do you guys trust the fact that the Lakers can hand him the keys and build around him post LeBron James era? And do you even want to keep him? I'm seeing some Laker fans say that they don't want to keep him. They would rather trade him post LeBron James era. I think the Lakers are giving too much up for him. We mortgage our future for him, so thus I think we have to keep him, and we have to find the #1 option to elevate him, similar to what LeBron James did in 2020. So we need that 2020 AD, but the problem is he hasn't shown up the past 2 seasons. He hasn't shown up, and the fact is availability is probably the best ability. He hasn't been available. He hasn't been on the floor as much. So that's a major issue, his fragility and his mindset going forward. So it's the conundrum that the Lakers have to deal with. They have to address. And I think the best way to do that is by finding a #1 option before LeBron James retires, and then having him team up, whether that's Zach LaVine, players like that. Zach LaVine has that mindset. I know that contract is running up with Chicago. We'll see how it goes. Players like that, but they got to find a young, up-and-coming, guy that has displayed alpha traits that can be a #1, and possibly Zach LaVine could be that. Maybe some other players. We'll see how it goes, but obviously the Russell Westbrook contract has to run out, and once that does, in the next 2 years, then the Lakers will have an option to go for a superstar potentially in free agency. So we'll see how it goes. Laker Nation, get up in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the game versus the Orlando Magic. The Lakers took care of business, 106-94. Not impressive win. Hopefully, they can keep it up. They are now 6th in the West, 15-13. But let me know your thoughts on the game and just on Anthony Davis. Do you guys trust the franchise handing the keys over to him going forward post LeBron James era? Get up in the comment section. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Anyway, comment, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Laker Nation, peace out.